Alright, so we are back here for round number 2. We're playing against Reason. I don't know what the reason is for playing today, but we're going to try to figure it out. So we have an Anguishman making a Harness Lightning, a Servant of the Conduit. I mean, we have some stuff. We're looking for some big stuff to reanimate with Ever After. The good thing about this deck in general is that even if you have a hand like this, you're going to find enough stuff. You're going to find like a grapple with the past. You're going to find enough stuff to play at some point that's then going to get killed that Ever After is going to be good. I don't know. We're trying it out. We're working out the kinks, you know. It's a little tricky today, but we're getting there. We're going to see what we can do. Alright, we're going to play a game trail showing a forest. There's no reason to traverse here, actually. We might, at some point, want to save this traverse to go get a creature or something. Like, what would we traverse for here? A swamp? We can do that later if we need to. So I'm not too worried about doing that here. Sheltered Thicket probably means Marvel. Yep, Sheltered Thicket, Botanical Sanctum, 100% of the time means Marvel. We don't have to Servant here, because, I mean, we don't have to kill their Servant, I should say, because we want a Servant of our own. We're going to play this Aether Hub. We just want to be able to Anguishman making. I guess now not getting a swamp looks terrible, but we're going to have the turn to do that, so I'm not worried about it timing-wise at this point. Once again, thank you everybody so much for watching. I know that I've been doing Standard. We're going to probably get back to Draft a little bit at the beginning of the next set, but Standard's just like been pretty awesome lately, and there's still like a ton of stuff to try, and it seems like Standard's ending soon. Like there's only like 28 days or whatever until the next set, so with all of that happening, it makes the most sense just to keep it going, keep on the Standard hype train for a little bit. Alright, so our Servant dies to Magma Spray, which is just a thing that happens sometimes, unfortunately. And a Rogue Refiner. Alright, so one of these traverses is going to have to go get a swamp. That's just the way it's going to have to work here. A grapple with the past is sweet, but I don't know if we're going to end up using it or not. We might end up firing off a Harness Lightning here. Although maybe we should have already fired it off on the Servant, but probably not. Yeah, we can just fire it off here. I'm okay with that. I'm going to use it on the Servant just so that they can't get any more mana from it or anything. Another Servant, okay. And a pass of the turn, interesting. Alright, so we're going to land, and then we're going to end up traversing. Probably. What is this? Cycling a Sheltered Thicket. I didn't think they were playing that many Sheltered Thickets. Are we sure this is Marvel and not... We haven't seen anything to indicate this is Marvel and not just the Temur Energy aggro deck. At this point, I should say. So no Dissenter's Deliverance main kind of hurts us against Marvel. Alright, I mean, we're just going to grapple. If this is 3 cards revealed, wow. Just totally Whiff City. Wow, Whiff City is like so unlucky. Alright, I guess I'll traverse for a swamp. It's a bit unfortunate. So, we're going to keep up the Anguishman making, and we're going to be able to Gear Hulk next turn, and we're going to be able to Ever After at some point. This many Sheltered Thickets leads me to believe that it is not Marvel. But I don't love taking all this damage, theoretically, so we'll see. Chandler initiate. Yeah, definitely not Marvel. Alright, we're gonna kill this Rogue Refiner. Probably should have killed it earlier, I guess, but nothing we can do now. Another Traverse. Okay, so we are going to... We're not going to even worry about that Traverse at this point. We're just going to Combustible Gear Hulk. If this Gear Hulk dies and we draw land, we can Gear Hulk for another Gear Hulk. They're going to take it, and they can die, but they're probably not going to. Noxious Gear Hulk, Torrential Gear Hulk. Alright, well that's super good for us. That means if that we survive this turn, we get to Ever After. Which is pretty much the best. Is this a Glimmer of Genius, or... Okay. Alright, so I just have to hope that we don't die. If we don't die, we're not in terrible shape. If they do have Glorybringer, then we're obviously in terrible shape, or if they have Chandra. But if neither of those things exist, then we are okay. Alright, let's Ever After for Noxious Gear Hulk, and I will get Combustible Gear Hulk, I think, because I like drawing cards. Alright, so Noxious Gear Hulk is going to take out Servant, of course. And then the Combustible Trigger is going to go first. They can't select yes, or else they just die, knowing that we have Gear Hulks and whatever in our deck. Oh, they just died. Okay. Excellent. Got one through. We did it. Alright, so, moving on to the sideboard, let's see what we can do. Gonti is going to be good in this matchup. Never to Return is going to be good. Void Winnower is not as good. Chandra is awesome. Ishkan is not as good. And, like, Nahiri's good. I guess I can take out one Nahiri. I want all my Gear Hulks, obviously, and I want the Refurbish combo because I want to be able to do it fast. And I want the Cut, and I want the 2 Harness Lightnings. And I want the Never Return and the 2 Anguish Makings. I want all the removal. Alright, so we're getting a little more mid-rangey here. It's not exactly that, like, this plan always works 100% of the time. It's just that being mid-rangey here is kind of... Being mid-rangey here is where we want to be in this matchup. Our opponent isn't necessarily trying to out-aggro us. I mean, they are a mid-range deck, at least in some part, but, you know, we can usually get around that. So we're going to try to figure it out here. I guess we could play Painful Truths, but it just doesn't seem that worth it. This hand seems insane, by the way. Keep. Hope everybody loves these Gear Hulks. Someone on stream like just gave me 2 of the combustibles, which is sweet because I think they're like 30 cents a piece, so I'm happy I got them. And I couldn't find them anywhere, to like be completely honest. So I'm happy I grabbed them. Or I'm happy someone gave them to me, like very appreciative. So we're going to Servant next turn. If they Servant, we're not going to cut their Servant, we're just going to Servant, and then if they kill our Servant, then I guess we retaliate. That's an interesting one. That we might just kill. Yeah, that makes sense to just kill. I don't want that getting out of line here. That's one of the better cards in their deck. Alright, Honored Hydra is good in this deck. We wanted to try the 5-mana Embalm Sphinx, but I think Honored Hydra was just better than that at the end of the day, so we ended up going with the Hydra. Refurbish. Well, Refurbish is a good card unless you can't put stuff in your graveyard, which we currently can't. But the good news is that with the Chandra, we can make enough mana to then like cast a Combustible Gear Hulk on turn 5. We could have done it on turn 4 had everything gone super according to plan, but it didn't. If they want to waste a removal spell here, they can waste a removal spell here. They obviously don't have Glorybringer mana yet, so I'm not that worried about that. Alright. Game Trail go. Chandra plus. No. Alright, just no Glorybringer. I mean, we're super dead to Glorybringer, but everything else we're relatively alive to. Alright. Just gonna block here. I don't want my Chandra to die because I want to be able to Combustible Gear Hulk or Honored Hydra next turn. Probably just Combustible Gear Hulking. Alright. Just have to kind of root for no Glorybringer again. Which feels like what we're doing every time, but maybe we are. Alright, we are going to plus the Chandra. We're going to find the appropriate 6 mana for Combustible Gear Hulk, and we're going to see what happens. If our opponent takes it again, they could very easily die. Not easily, but they could die, right? A Void Winnower and 2 other cards is pretty lethal. So I would assume this means that they have Glorybringer or feel that they have the win in hand or something, because they can't be that afraid from dying from 18. I don't know, maybe they are just afraid. We have never now, which is sweet. We have never and Cathartic Reunion, which is sick, right? Because Cathartic Reunion gets to put Honored Hydra in the grave. We could even Cathartic Reunion Honored Hydra and then get it back. We could also Cathartic Reunion Torrential Gear Hulk Honored Hydra, refurbish the Torrential Gear Hulk, but we just have nothing to get back after that. We don't have an instance at this point. That's not incredibly useful. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana next turn if we ask for it. We could also plus 1 Chandra before making any other decisions, but 8 mana would allow us to Cathartic Reunion refurbish. It's a shame that the Torrential Gear Hulk inventions or masterpieces or whatever are so much money, or else I would have got one, but I was happy enough to upgrade the other Gear Hulks. I really do like these. I think they're sweet, by the way. Like, they're just a way cooler looking version of the card. Like, if all cards looked like this, at least online, I think the game would, like, take off more online, if that makes sense. Alright, we're gonna see what our opponent does. They have to have a Glorybringer they were thinking about. They have 4 cards in hand. They just have to have a Glorybringer. No Glorybringer, okay. I assume this is just both a Chandra. I mean, I'm gonna get my free block off if I can. That's fine. Is that the best thing in the world for me? No, but it's reasonable. Servant of the Conduit, okay. Rogue Refiner, okay. And a land, interesting. So I think I like my Cathartic Reunion play here. I think I like Cathartic Reunion pitching Hydra, and do I pitch a Gear Hulk? Do I pitch a land? I guess I pitch a land. I'm like very likely to draw another Gear Hulk at some point. Or not another Gear Hulk, like another land that I can use for Gear Hulk. Land. Now I can Gonti too, which is sweet. I think I'm just Gontiing here. I have plenty of Aether Hub mana, so I'm not worried about that. Love me a good Gonti. Gonna steal one of my opponent's things and like basically 18 for one them. So we could Magma Spray, Harness Lightning, we could also just Bristling Hydra. I think I'm gonna take Bristling Hydra, I think it's just the best card. Alright, very happy with how this is going. Not going to attack, because I am still, like... The one bad thing about taking Gonti there is it's super weak to Glorybringer, so if they Glorybringer attack with everything, I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and kill a Bristling Hydra. That's basically the situation. On my turn, I then get to, like, untap, Never Away the Glorybringer, play a Servant of the Conduit, and then we're back in it. But it's still a really tough spot for me if they just, like, Glorybringer and attack with everything here. Alright, Chandra's kind of bad too. They revealed a Glorybringer. Okay. Well, I'm gonna Never the Chandra now. If I kind of need to find a land, right? If I find a land to... Yeah, okay. I want to find a land here. Perfect. Okay, what if I just attack Chandra with Combustible Gearhulk? Nah, he's just gonna, like, throw a Rogue Refiner in front of it. So what if I attack Chandra with Combustible Gearhulk? He throws a Bristling Hydra in front of it. Yeah, this could actually get interesting. Alright, I'm gonna attack Chandra with Combustible Gearhulk. I think this is where the most fun stuff happens. Yeah, we get to eat a creature. That's fine. We get to eat a creature. We get to kill your Chandra anyways. No! That's not good. Alright, well, do we want Bristling Hydra here or Honored Hydra? Bristling Hydra's cuter, but Honored Hydra has a better shot of getting two Chandra, I guess. Well, at least they have no cards in hand, but they basically have two, right? They have one draw plus one Chandra uptick. So they have two cards to find a Glorybringer. Although they just found one, so the chances of them finding another one are light. Alright, a Vizier of the Menagerie. Still nothing to Torrential Gearhulk except for a Grapple. I'm still kind of secretly hoping my Combustible Gearhulk dies so that I can bring it back and then draw more cards. Alright, what are they going to play off the top of their deck here? A second Vizier. That does do work. Another Refurbished, jeez. Alright, well, we have to start attacking them at some point. So I'm going to attack Chandra and Chandra. And we're going to see what happens. And they have to throw something in the way of this. I kind of hope they kill this so I can refurbish it back. And that's kind of the dream. The dream is to be able to refurbish Bristling Hydra this turn. The non-dream is Bristling Hydra, Servant of the Conduit, Grapple with the Past, because that lets them like uptick Chandra for an extra turn. Which then means that in the long run they get to Ultimate Chandra. And if they Ultimate Chandra, they just win. So I'm not very excited about them being able to Ultimate Chandra here. Although, to be fair, Grapple is going to help us find stuff, I guess. Alright, so two of their things are going to be down. I am going to Grapple here. Ugh, I guess I get back a Forest. That's like such a bad Grapple. Alright, yeah, I get back a Forest, I guess. Play a Forest. Servant of the Conduit is whatever. And then Bristling Hydra is also kind of whatever. Yeah, this is not where I needed things to really go, but it's whatever. I can Torrential Gearhulk for another Grapple. But that doesn't do a whole lot here. Yeah. Well, that's good for us. That means that they only have 2 cards here, and if neither of them are a creature, then I am going to get some points in at Chandra. At Chandra's, so to speak. Alright, hopefully no energy. So I can attack with Combustible Gearhulk and Gonti. That's not good. I hate that. Let's see what I can do here. So Chandra. I mean, I just can't let it ultimate, basically. I have to, like, hope that they kill Combustible Gearhulk so I can refurbish it back. I'm in such a weird spot now. I mean, I basically have to use Return to, like, kind of survive. Yeah, Servant dying means that my Torrential Gearhulk plan kind of goes out the window. Ugh, unhappy. Alright, Chandra down. Alright, I mean, I guess if you have a removal spell plus a pump spell, you win. Or if you have a Glorybringer, you win, I guess. Yeah, okay, no Glorybringer at this point. Just 2 lands. That's good for us. Alright, I mean, I guess we're just going to keep attacking with a Combustible Gearhulk then. At some point, if they kill our Combustible Gearhulk, it's actually good for us. Ooh. So what does that mean now? They get to put 5 counters on the Longtusk Cub, and all of a sudden our Combustible Gearhulk is just dead? Alright, can we draw another Grapple with the Past and get back this Gonti? Please let me get back this Gonti. Come on. I really want to get back this Gonti now. Yeah, I'll just chump here. Servant. That, like, doesn't do enough. One, two, three, four, 5. I guess I'll just, like, gain 5. Whatever. It, like, kind of does something. Really, I just have to hope Combustible Gearhulk dies, and then I get to refurbish, and then I get to basically replenish my whole hand. That's basically what I'm trying to do here, and I have to dodge a turn or 2. I wouldn't say we're in a great spot this whole game. Just having the refurbish and the Torrential Gearhulk in our hand is just kind of subpar. If we had drawn a Harness Lightning or something like that, we would have been in much better shape. If they just chain creatures off the top of their deck, that's also pretty bad for us. What is good for us? So drawing something like Anguished Unmaking's pretty good for us. Right? Drawing Anguished Unmaking is good for us, because then we get to Anguished Unmaking, the Vizier. Or probably Anguished Unmaking, yeah, a Vizier. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gearhulk, Anguished Unmaking, Longtusk Cub. But then we go to 4, so that's a giant problem. I guess Cut is okay. We get to another Cut, because then we can cut a Vizier. Or Harness Lightning's pretty good. We get to Harness Lightning, Vizier, Torrential Gearhulk, Harness Lightning, Longtusk Cub. So that's not that bad. Alright, a bunch of things that just aren't that bad here. Oh, what else is good? A Grapple's obviously good. A Gonti isn't terrible. Just no counter. Glorybringer. Yep. Alright, I'll kill your Vizier. I'll happily take care of that. Alright, we took care of it. Sweet. So, that was, again, we wanted the grapple or something for the Gonti. So, again, Liliana's good. Ever After's not even that bad. I mean, we do just get back Servant Gonti, but Gonti is so good in this matchup that it's worth getting back. So we have 1 Liliana, 1 Ever After, 3 grapples. How good is that 1 Gonti? We got our creature, their Glorybringer, their Vizier, and their spell. So it was literally like a 3-for-1 basically. That was sweet. Oh my god, yes, Ever After, yes. Alright, I'm going to attack like this, I guess. No reason not to. If they don't block, I'm just getting back a bunch of things that can block. That's fine with me. Use all your energy. See if I care. Yep. And now we have even enough energy to Ever After and then Refurbish, which is cute. Swamp, Gonti, Combustible Gearhulk, Ever After, getting work done. Alright, alright. Oh, choose a Gonti to keep? I'm going to keep this one. Ooh, I will take a... I could take a Confiscation Queue. Or I could take a Rogue Refiner, which I can cast this turn. I think I'll just take a Rogue Refiner. I assume they're not just going to die here. They could surprise me, but they're probably just going to let us draw cards. Oh, wow. They just went for it and almost got owned. But didn't get owned, surprisingly. Noxious Gearhulk. Alright, well that's definitely going to win us the game next turn, so... We got this game on lock, unless they can somehow do 2 damage with 2, or 10 damage with 2 cards, which I don't think they can. They have like a trample plus double strike spell on the Bristling Hydra. That might still not get there. I can just throw like every single thing in front. So I'm pretty sure we got this game. 1-1 in matches so far. We're going to play one more third match, so we'll come back to you right after that. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll see you for round number 3.